You know, man, I don't know if you've ever done this, but I bought my wife a gift that she didn't like. Have you ever done this? Remember when TVs were really heavy and people wouldn't help you move because you owned two of them? Do you remember that? And when that started to switch and everyone started getting these flat screen TVs, we waited for like a year and a half. We didn't have enough money and they were very expensive then. And I secretly saved up a bunch of money. And one day I went to Best Buy and I bought a flat screen TV, our first flat screen, high definition. I brought it home. I wrapped it up. My wife unwrapped it and I said, baby, look at this. I got you a TV so you can watch ESPN in high def. And she was like, oh, thank you very much. I was a little upset. She wanted more ground. I'm like, this is a big deal. I saved for months. I got a great deal. And she's like, okay, it's good. It's our TV. She's like, why do you get the remote all the time then? You know, it's like that, right? And I was thinking, like, why didn't she appreciate what I do for her? A couple months passed by, and I had this little revelation from God one day. See, for years, my wife has been telling me that Jesus Christ only approves of one way to fold the towels in our home. I think Jesus approves 17 or 18 ways. And I make those ways up by each towel. But my wife says there's one way to do it, and they all face the same way, and even the little washcloths, there's one way to do it. And so I finally just kind of surrendered myself and said, all right, I'm going to try to learn her method, and and I wasn't even doing it to impress anyone. I was like, okay, this is one fight I can eliminate by just surrendering. And I started folding the towels her way. And about 3 weeks into it, she came home one day, threw her arms around me. I was like, what? She gave me a big kiss. I'm like, what? And she's like, you are so good with towels. The women are all like, I'm so glad I came to church today. Friends, listen to me. It's not the big effort. It's not the big, huge gift. It's the faithful consistency that changes lives. Paul uses this powerful analogy of waking Timothy up with a roaring fire inside of him. And then he talks over and over again about consistent patterns. Those two don't seem to go together unless you've actually built a fire. A fire is not an easy thing to build. It takes time and careful. You got to get the right fuel. If the fuel's got to be dry, you got to stack it exactly right. You got to find the right thing that will produce that heat. That's not easy to find. And good fires are built carefully, slowly, and faithfully. And when you have one that has those coals that are self-replicating, you can put, those coals are so hot, you put any dead thing on there. You put any wet thing on there. You put anything on there that doesn't look like it could be fuel. And when the coals are at a certain level of intensity, every single life can catch on fire in a great fire. That's what Paul is calling him to do. Do you remember those fires that lasted all night, Timothy? You know those fires that were rich and deep and warm and safe? I want you to build that in your life. He calls him finally to the ultimate calling that's not just confidence, not just courage, but the deep inner strength. It's a call to consistency, small, faithful things done, repeated over and over again within the pattern and practices of the greatest servant, the most confident, courageous man that ever lived, Jesus Christ. He reminds him of his grandmother first, that she did this, and that his mother did this. And then in verse 13, he says it this way: what you heard from me, keep as the pattern of sound teaching. And he also says, guard the deposit. What is this pattern and deposit? I think it's the same thing. He's using parallelism. He's referring to the essential message, the essential quality, the essential experience of Jesus Christ. He's saying, don't hold on to your inner conflict. Don't focus on your external conflict. Get the gospel and focus on the gospel.